Bavona, Gotham Trinity Productions presents live from APAC.
Going to be on the program today. So very excited for a great show. Again, Dixie Longate, Hank Fitzgerald, Kristen Ernst. So happy you're joining us again, live from APAC, the Evan Performing Arts Center. It's going to be great. This is episode 2. It's going to be very funny. So with that being said, let's get right to our executive and creative director, artistic director. Yes. My goodness, at the Evan Performing Arts Center. Anthony, how you doing, man?
How are you? Welcome back to Avenel.
This was great. Had a good time last week.
I'm glad. We really had a good time having you.
Yeah, you had great guests. A lot of fun. Deborah was great. Sonia was great. Everyone was so nice.
Yeah, everyone was a good way to keep in touch and get people, keep people in the know and communicate with different people. I think this is a great program for this week. Same kind of idea. Agents, producers, directors, performers, different angles of what's going on. We've had a lot of progress over the last week. Like we said, we were going to see a lot of progress. The Governor Murphy and Cuomo both made progress this week. We had outdoor dining at Curtin starting on Monday in all of New Jersey. So that was really successful Monday. We were packed. We still have a lot of reservations all week, but still room for more. So if anybody wants to come for outdoor dining, we have plenty of room out there, and it's been really productive. People have been careful, socially distancing, and it's been working. At least people are back out again.
Yes.
So that's been a lot of progress. Plus, Governor Cuomo said today that New York City is going into phase 2. So we're still waiting for some more orders on our end, but it looks pretty good. I mean, we're making progress. Nobody's talked about theater yet in New York and New Jersey, but it looks like, well, we'll definitely probably come before them. So I think we're almost there, which is great.
Monday was fantastic at Curtains. By the way, great food. I had the bacon wrapped shrimp that I mentioned. I thought that was great. The drinks were great. Everyone was really nice. It was good to see a good crowd out there too.
Yes, great.
It was nice. And I was talking to Mike Graziuso, who's working hard behind the scenes directing. Yeah, just felt good to be outside and have a drink and just relax and enjoy the ambiance safely, of course.
Yeah.
But it was great, and it was good news to hear.
It's great.
Get people back outside. New York hopping on board.
Yep.
It's all good.
People have been under lockdown for 100 days. So it's just, I think people are just really anxious at this point. Of course, we're watching the numbers, and the fact that they are going down so much makes me definitely feel more positive about getting back to something and being able to bring some of these great shows back.
And Anthony, last week we had Cara Rubino on who talked about the camps and announced that the camps are going to be occurring here. The culinary camps, the theater camps or whatnot.
Everybody wants to get rid of their kids. Yes.
The kids ready to get out. They're done. Yeah. We're done. Let them out.
Exactly.
I want out.
Yep.
I want to run around. I want to flip pizza dough. I don't know, and have a good time. So I think it's great that the camps are having out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's been a good response. Yeah. And Carrie is going to be joining us later on to give us a little bit more about the camps. Yep. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Well,
I'm very excited for you to meet our first guest, Dixie Longate. Dixie is one of my favorite performers. I know Dixie for over 20 years. I saw her on a cruise ship, and one of my favorite shows. Probably have seen it 10 times in 10 different cities. But she opened the Avenel Performing Arts Center here last year, and it was a major success. So people are already so excited to come back and see her again in 2 months. So really happy to have Dixie back. So I can't wait for you to meet Dixie because she's a hoot. So you're
such a personality. I've been following her social media accounts, and she is awesome.
She's awesome.
Talking about what makes her happy. Yeah. A greeting card with a llama on it. What? I heard that. I was like, I'm in. I want to meet you. You're awesome. So I can't wait to chat with her. You're right. So yeah, I think we're ready. Yeah. So after this commercial break, again, Dixie Longate will be joining us. So stick and stay, guys.
Are you ready for America's favorite Tupperware lady to blow you away?
See why the LA Times raised. I was laughing too hard to breathe.
Back the truck up. What?
Join Dixie and discover why the Today Show cheers not your grandmother's Tupperware party.
Is this a real Tupperware party? Yes.
See why audiences the world over love to party with Dixie.
Yes.
Come see Dixie's Tupperware Party.
Not your grandmother's Tupperware party, that is for sure. Oh my goodness, full of energy. She is amazing. Saw her show when she was here to open up at the Avenel Performing Arts Center. We are so excited to have her back in a couple months, but more importantly, right now, she is with us and she's ready to go. Dixie Longate, how are you, dear?
Hey, darling, I'm good. How's everything?
Everything is fantastic. As you heard Anthony say, good news coming out from Avenel, New Jersey. We opened up curtains, trying to eat, we're drinking and whatnot. How are you doing? What's going on by you?
No, it's been, well, me, like every other mama, all of a sudden, a couple of months ago, the schools were like, here are your kids back. And normally, you get rid of them in September, you put them on the bus, you're like, I'm good for the day. And then they leave. And then I guess they come back every night, but I didn't know that. I'd lock the door and sorry, we're closed. But all the kids come back and they're like, oh, you're supposed to take care of them now because the teachers are going to not wear pants for the next couple of months. And then, got to have no problems with that. And so I'm trying to take care of my kids, trying to learn them, trying to do things for them to make sure that they're taken care of and having something fun to do. And they're always up in my business because I'm trying to live my life. I didn't expect all this stuff to happen. So all of a sudden I'm home with the kids and they're like, oh, mama, I need something to do because apparently a 5-piece puzzle isn't as exciting as they say on the box. So I had to, make sure that they got something to do. And now I put them in, I stretched sheets over chairs and everything. I built forts. And so the kids is my little one is, I think, lost. I haven't seen him for a couple of days, but he went in one of the forts I made. And I figured if he wants something, he'll holler. He'll be like, I want kibble or, he doesn't want to that much yet, but I'll just throw some stuff on there. Normally, the kids would go outside, I throw a Hungry Man frozen dinner out on the lawn and I let the sun heat it up and they've been enjoying it by the end of the playtime. But now it's oh, mama, make more food. And I'm like, you go get a job. And they're like, oh, you can't get no jobs. It's so hard right now. It's just and I always think excuse from the kids. You know how it is.
Yeah. Dixie, there's no jobs available. These kids can't go to work. I mean,
I know. But apparently, if you're 10 years old, they don't let you apply for a job. And I was like, well, that's new. They should let the parents know that because otherwise I've got to take care of you for a while. And it's just a hassle.
Right. At least give you the heads up about it. So you're kind of alluding to the answer to this question a little bit, but how has coronavirus impacted you as a Tupperware lady? And what are your concerns moving forward?
Well, it's been interesting because normally, I've been doing shows. My show, Dixie's Tupperware Party, that started in New York in 2007 and then started touring as of 2008. So I've been on the road for 12 years. And it was March 14th was my last show. We were supposed to go then from there where we were in Missouri, we were supposed to go up to Denver. And then everything got canceled. From there, everything got canceled. And so right now, there's only 2 markets that we have that are still hoping, praying that they're going to be open this year. And one of them is Avenel in New Jersey. I'm so stinking excited to be back on stage. I love being with the audience. I love having a good time. Obviously, I'm going to have to change some stuff to make sure everybody's healthy and stays safe and everything. Mm-hmm. But I do like it. I've been able to connect with people this way through the computer and everything and help people with their food storage because that's really important. Right. And then, everybody's been cleaning out their trailers. So everybody's calling me going, oh, my lid's busted. I need a new one. So it's all day I've been helping people get their food storage all back to normal so that everybody can use it. Because now everybody all of a sudden is making bread. And they're like, oh, I needed something to make bread on in and everything. And I was like, do you know you can buy bread right there at the grocery store? It's not like toilet paper that went away. It's still there. You can get there's a whole aisle that says bread right on it in the big sign. You don't have to be like a pioneer woman from the 1700s baking your own bread. Because a couple months ago, if you went into the Piggly Wiggly and you talked to that lady in the front and you'd say, do you have any yeast? She'd be like, that's rude. But now she's like, oh, God, it's there. It's in this. Go. Don't even talk to me. She points at it. Right. She don't want to hear about it, because everybody's making their own dang bread. I ain't got time to make bread. We're busy.
Well, yeah, getting yeast, it's a little bit of an awkward question. It could be. But speaking of questions, this is actually a good question. I have been praying every day for a 32-ounce tumbler for the beach. Any luck? That's from Flo, who asked. Any luck?
Flo, I have some great big tumblers that I can get to. Of course, we have different kind of things. You know, we got the big pitchers that are like real huge from like 1 gallon, 2 gallon. We got the big tumblers from the 16 ounce all the way up 24, 32 ounce. So you can get different ones, and that way you can take them to the beach. You don't got to get no little sand or critters in them. You can take a big swig out of it. You know, you got to open your mouth real big when you put it in there, like. But you know, everybody practices, so you know, it's real great. And then you're not gonna have no problems with it. You're not gonna you take it, you throw it back in your beach bag, and you take it back home. It's perfect.
Okay. One thing I didn't expect to see on this program today, but yeah, we're going with it. Hey, so we mentioned that you opened up here at the Avenel Performing Arts Center. Besides New Jersey here, Avenel, where else? What are the favorite cities you're looking forward to getting back to? Some of your favorite cities, Dixie?
You know, I've been so lucky. I've been doing the show for 12 years, so I've gotten to go all over the world. I've been to 5 different countries now with my show. I've been to countries I didn't even know had food. So it's been very interesting. And like every city is different. Some cities are, you know, the audiences are real fun and real progressive. In some cities, the audience is real stupid, and you got to be like, why do you want to have sex on my leg, or what? You know how they come on and they're like jumping up and down on you like a dog looking for peanut butter. And so that's the one thing that I realized is like everywhere you go, different people are going to have different fun with different things. Like I was down in Australia a couple years ago, and Australia Tupperware there has that sort of like the research and said it had, like when it was started in the 60s and 70s got real big here. Down there it's like that now, so it's just new down there. So I would go down and pick different pieces of Tupperware up in my show, and before I'd even say anything, the audience would erupt and they'd applaud and they'd giggle because it was so current to them and they knew everything about what it was. Like, oh my God, I just bought that at a party. You know, so it's very simple. It's very interesting, but every city is different. Like I was supposed to do Denver in April, and then that all got pushed back to the summer, and then it got pushed back again to next year. So Denver's always been so great to me. So I always love going to Denver. They actually helped me co-produce my second show, Never Wear a Tube Top While Riding a Mechanical Bull, and 16 Other Things I Learned While I Was Drinking Last Thursday. So that's really fun. I get to do that there. And then I'm supposed to go to Pittsburgh this fall. And so we're waiting to see like if that's going to be happening. So that's like a big run I'm supposed to do. So, but every city is different. I spent so much time down in the South, you know, Texas and Florida and Alabama and Louisiana. So I've been to all these places that just feel like home, even when I'm not at home. So, and I love that. I love going, and everybody giggles at different things. And that's what's so fun. You never know what you're going to giggle at. You never know what's going to uplift you or the audience. And that's always what's so exciting about it.
I just giggled at the tube top. What was that?
So I have a second show called Never Wear a Tube Top While Riding a Mechanical Bull, and 16 Other Things I Learned While I Was Drinking Last Thursday. And it's a show about all the things that, like when you was younger, you want to do everything. You want to change the world. You want to go out and have fun. And then somewhere along the way, everybody's like, oh, stop. I don't do that anymore. Like somebody killed your dreams. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to cut all the things that I always wanted to do that I dreamed of changing the world. I'm not going to be able to do now. And it's sort of a show about going out there and finding the things that you always wanted to do and figuring out what stopped you from doing them and changing that focus so you can focus on doing something better and making your life a real love letter to yourself. So it's fun. So I've been doing that. I developed that with the Denver Center in 2014, and I've been doing it on and off, like in tandem with Dixie's Tupperware Party all over the country. So it's real fun. It's real fun. It's huge. I got a giant honky tonk set that it takes place in. So it takes place in my best friend. Honky tonk. Yeah, oh, it's super
Love
fun.
That.
You ever been in a honky tonk? Have you ever been in a honky tonk? Because I don't think a lot of people from New Jersey know what it is. You get in there and you put your leg on the mechanical bull and you ride it like this and you try to stay on it. You know what that's like. Oh,
Let's go. Come on. Hey, listen, speaking of fans from around the world, Bonnie Duvet Caruth. I Love Dixie. Is she single and looking?
Oh, stop
We're playing matchmaker here on Live from APAC.
You know what? Listen, I have been married 3 times, and you know, I'm not single. I'm not dating anybody right now. I am single. I'm not dating anybody right now. But you know how they say, when you milk a free cow, why give the milk for the cat? Why milk a cow when the cows? Why milk a free? You can milk me. That's the bottom line. You can milk me. So if that's fine. Like I'm happy to. If Bonnie has somebody that I should meet, I'm happy to go jump on them like a pogo stick at a county fair. Sure.
Jump on them like a pogo stick at a county fair.
That's
I just made my good friend and lead camera operator Todd Palladino very uncomfortable here. Frank Wilkinson chimes in and says, "Poor Todd, he can't keep up with Dixie." Dixie, I'm not gonna lie, I can't. But I'm loving it. I feel uncomfortable. I'm entertained. I'm enjoying myself. So where else can we go? Here we go. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
You know, that is such a neat question. I was just talking about this the other day with a friend of mine, because it's interesting. People I keep hearing from people, oh, I can't wait to get back to normal. And I sort of changed the language in my head. I'm like, why do we want to go back when we can go forward? I think this is an opportunity. I think the world is kind of giving itself a big shudder right now, trying to shake everything off and try to shake us all up. And I think this is an opportunity for us to look to the future of like what we can do, what we possibly can do. So what I think is interesting, I don't know. I always say this. It's not what I know I'm capable of that excites me. It's what I have no idea that I'm capable of that fires me up every morning. And so
right.
I don't know where I'm going to be in 10 years. And that's part of the excitement of the journey, because I'm hoping I'm doing more things and bigger things. I'm doing like, you mentioned I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing on social media now because I'm home and I'm not on the road. I've been doing a happy hour 5 days a week on my Facebook page. And I've been doing all this stuff on my YouTubes and my Instagram just to be able to get content out, to talk to people, to share time with people, because I'm not going to be able to share time on a stage necessarily right now.
Correct.
So like this way it keeps me engaged. And I'm excited about what that's developing to be, because I'm getting to engage with people in a totally different way. Because normally when I'm doing the Tupperware parties, I do my show and I talk to people at the end and I engage with them a little bit. But this is giving me the opportunity to engage with people, a lot of one-on-ones and like group chats with people that are really fun and exciting and different than I'm used to doing. So I don't know where that's going to lead necessarily, but I'm excited at where it can go.
And that, you're right, that is exciting. And you've had to adjust like many people have to adjust, and like APAC is currently adjusting right now. So we have another question here. Is the show a real Tupperware party?
It is a real Tupperware party. You get catalogs, order forms, there's games and prizes and raffles. I show everything, all the great crap. But it's more than that. It's super fun. It's all about, it's kind of a love letter to yourself. Again, it's one of those things. The show is about finding that place in you that's really that's passionate, that's exciting, something that you never thought you're capable of, and lifting you up to that level. So I tell the story about me, like who I am and how I got to be where I got to be, the top selling Tupperware lady in the entire United States and Canada. But also, I talk about Brownie Wise, who is the woman who created the Tupperware party, and how this woman came from a lot of adversity to create something that is now one of the most iconic American brands ever. And I sort of relate that to who you are and what you're capable of doing. Like if you've ever thought something's stopping you, you're the one that's getting in your own way. So how do you change the way you frame yourself to be able to get up and do something even bigger and better? And so that's what's fun about the show. So you leave the show with food storage if you want to, but you leave it also with a little bit of a kick in your steps, so you can go out and do something, tackle the world, and change things a little bit better for yourself.
Love it. Changing for yourself, challenging yourself. I love that. Adjusting to what's going on right now. Connie has a question. You kind of started answering this question at the top of this conversation, dealing with your kids running around. What has she been doing in quarantine?
Well, I've been doing it. See, I've been trying to, first of all, I've been drinking a lot. Like, I didn't know there were so many different
hasn't?
So I went on the internet, and I was like, oh, there's 10 of them. There's 10. So I'm learning all myself how to do that. And then I've been doing a lot of like crafting stuff. I made a crochet. I was so worried about running out of toilet paper. I crocheted myself some toilet paper just in case, because you never know.
Great.
Well, and it's so decorative, and it goes with that little dolly cover that I have that's right by. So there's the toilet paper cover, and now I got the toilet paper to match. So I've been doing a lot of stuff like that. I've been trying to take care of, like, clean a little bit in my trailer. Like I said, I was cleaning, everybody's cleaning and seeing what they find. I found the Men of Mortuaries 2007 calendar.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know why they haven't made more current ones.
Men of Mortuaries calendar. Is that what I'm seeing right now?
Yes. So if there's ever a time that you're like running to bury somebody, stop and look at this, But there's all kinds of different stuff. I'm finding things about my truck. I'm fixing things up. I'm trying. I was like Jimmy, and I was cleaning out some. I kept trying to get the window open. Someone was trying to come in to help fix something, and I was trying to jimmy the window open because it was getting stuck, and I found a finger in there. I don't know whose finger it is. I'd ask all the kids, anyone lose a finger? Nobody did, but so somebody's finger, and I finally jimmied it out. Now my window closes so smooth, which is good because it's hurricane season down here in the South, and I don't want stuff blowing in, so it's good.
Are you taking this finger losing act and everything and Tupperware to Virginia? Miranda wants to know.
You know what? I don't have any dates in Virginia at the moment. So a lot of stuff that was happening, I had a bunch of dates that were booked all the way till next summer. And then because of Coronas, everything sort of shut down and stopped. Some of those dates are going to put back in place for next season. Some of them may not. They may shift around, and that might open up other opportunities for stuff. So I don't know. I had nothing in Virginia scheduled, but some stuff might change now that we have a whole different schedule and a whole different things opening up. So it's yet to be seen. But I always have my schedule posted on my website, Dixie'sTupperwareParty.com. You can go and you can always find where I'm going to be. So hopefully I'll be, but because I've never performed in Virginia, isn't that sad?
Oh wow,
So
we haven't been to Virginia. Virginia, happening place.
You know what? I've been there. I've just never been able to perform there. I've driven through it. I got lost in the woods one time. Somebody was chasing me with a shovel. It was super fun. I really enjoyed it, but I've just never been there to actually do any performances. I went to that King's Dominion, that amusement park. Holy Lord, I went upside down on a roller coaster. I was like, oh, thank goodness I wore panties today. Because sometimes, you opt out. But that day,
I'm not wearing,
Well,
wait, that's awkward. Hi, Nancy Drum. Just want to say hi to Nancy Drum real quick. So glad that she's tuning in.
Hi there, darling. How's everything?
She is amazing. So glad Nancy is joining us. Hey, you talked about challenging self and adapting, but let's go back to things that influence you now. What influenced you to do what you do and how you've been approaching what you do?
Well, I started I started selling Tupperware like 19 years ago. It was conditions of my parole. I had to get a job in order to get my kids back. They're like, "Oh, you have to take your kids." I'm like, "Ugh, gross." Because when you get out of prison, they're like, "Freedom," and I'm like, "Not if you give me kids. I didn't want them." And so I did that. And then my parole officer, she said, "You need to have some sort of a job." And I was like, ugh. And I was like, "Well, there's certain things I can't do." She's like, "Well, why don't you sell Tupperware?" And I'm like, that's funny. That's what old ladies do. She said, no, it's changed. It's adapted. It's gotten so modern and current and fun. And I said, I went to my first part. Well, she had her lift the restraining order, but she's super good at that. So she got that done. And then I went into this lady's house and I did a Tupperware party. And she offered me a cocktail. She said, would you like something to drink? I said, yeah, but I'm working. And she said, well, here you go. It's a party. And I said, if this is a job, I'm keeping this job forever. If I can drink at work, I'm like, yes. And then, so I started doing it, and I just grew and grew and grew. And then a friend of mine who's the director said, you should do this on stage. This is real fun. You should do. And so I worked with him and sort of put it all together, and then took it to New York, and then it got a lot of attention there. And then it ran off Broadway. And it was one of those things that I never in a million years would have thought that I've been doing this at all.
Wow.
And then like one thing led to another. And then it was like, all right, well, let me just take these opportunities and see where they lead. So it's been a really fun journey, and it's different every day. You never know what's going to happen. I never know who's going to be at the show. I never know who's going to be up on stage participating with me. So that's what makes it fun and engaging all these years later to still do it.
Right.
So, and that's the thing. You never know where the day is going to take you. Sometimes you just have to open up and say, yeah, all right, I'll give it a try. And then that's how it happens.
And that's it. Sometimes you just have to go without your underwear on and just, see what happens and embrace what's going to come at you. So just brace it. All right, Dixie, this was totally enjoyable. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live from APAC. Really looking forward to seeing you back here at the Evandale Performing Arts Center.
You are so sweet. I cannot wait to come back. I'm fixing to have such a good time when I get there. So keep on smiling, keep wearing your mask, keep staying safe, and I'll be there before you know it. All right?
All right, girl. Thank you so much for the time. Enjoy the rest of the day. All right, we'll talk soon.
All right, handsome. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, take care, Dixie. Whew, wow. Restraining orders. She was on house arrest. There was a finger gone. She's talking about her panties. What else did we cover? Anything and everything. No, anything goes. It's live from APAC. We got plenty more to come. Who knows where this is going to go? I'm excited. Joining us next after the break is Hank Fitzgerald. Stay tuned.
Halloween, I just want you all to know it's a Catholic holiday. It's a Catholic thing. We started it. Thank you very much. All right. Now, did everybody get their candy? Are we ready for the trick-or-treaters? Sister Mary and I are on our third batch. Who here can tell Sister when All Saints Day is? Great. What did I say about shell cow? When we were growing up, we didn't have backpacks. We got like a red notebook or a blue notebook in a pencil case, right? And if you were lucky, your mother gave you a brown trash bag that you could cover your notebook in. Some people now, they just buy them. Remember when we were kids, the box costumes? Remember the box costumes that were made of plastic? If a match got near, you go up like a torch. Catholic Church is spending a lot of money. We're getting people to come back to our team. Me and Catherine, yes, we are. Our ad campaign is very simple. It says, purgatory, we have it, you don't.
A beautiful second show going on right here. Again, we are at live from APAC, and our next guest is joining us is Hank Fitzgerald, as his Instagram account says. He's an artistic director and theater guy. Hank, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Todd?
After that interview with Dixie Longate, I am spent. Whew, I need a cigarette and a shot of whiskey or something. I mean, my goodness, that wasn't something.
It sounds like I'm the guy with the shovel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a guy in the shovel in Virginia. Okay. She might not go perform. I forget who asked that. Thank you so much for chiming in and asking that question. Miranda, I mean, she might be too scared to go to Virginia. Sorry. I mean, it's just not in the cards. Anyway, Hank, so glad you're with us today. How's everything going?
It's doing great here. We're staying busy. It's a rainy day here in Virginia. We are located right in the Shenandoah Valley in Waynesboro, Virginia. And we are so glad to be here today with you, Todd, and thank you for having us.
Now, Hank, I understand Virginia, beautiful, as we said. What brought you there, and what has it been like working in Waynesboro?
Well, I was born and raised here in Virginia, and I went to school at Shenandoah University in Winchester, Virginia, and studied musical theater, dance, and all the wonderful voice. And I did a lot of their summer music theater there. And I decided to stretch out, and I moved to Florida and worked for a company called the Alhambra Dinner Theater in Jacksonville, Florida. I came back to Virginia. My mom had gotten sick, and I wanted to be here with her. And I never left and got involved with some theaters here in Virginia. And my friend Tracy Straight Weaver called me, who is now our executive director, called me and said, how would you like to direct here? And I couldn't be more happier to be in my hometown where I grew up, where I went to high school. And it was a great opportunity. And
Sure.
we started just producing shows, original productions. We started off very light, and we grew the program with incredible volunteers, other teachers, and making the theater what it is today, which is an amazing place to be. And I'm very lucky to work with so many community members. We have so much talent in the area. It's just amazing.
And that's great, and to be a part of that great community. And that's one thing why this program is so great, because it's great to talk to fellow people working in the community. We are, artists, directors, actors, producers, and whatnot. So this is really great to talk to you. Like I said, Hank, been enjoying your work at the Wayne Theater from afar. What is your favorite production that you've directed?
Oh, that's a tough question. I have favorites, but I think probably my favorite was My Fair Lady. It's just a beautiful show. I think it's the epitome of music theater. It's a wonderful show, well written. We had an incredible cast. I directed and choreographed that show, and absolutely an amazing show. But I always have soft spots in my shows, for all shows, because of the cast and all of our actors and our Wayne family, as we call it, that come together and make these beautiful pieces of art. And to see actors in our community that are experienced, not so experienced, are, joining us for the first time to watch their growth and their love and their hearts that they put into production and for the end product is my joy of being a director in this community.
Got a question from Facebook. Connie's asking, I'm surprised he didn't say Beauty and the Beast. Why?
It's one of my favorites. It was one of our biggest shows at the Wayne. We had an incredible cast. The leads were fantastic. And, Yeah, it's hard to have a favorite. They're all my favorite. When I go to pick a show, I have to like it. I don't direct it because it's you should do this now or it's going to bring in money. I always pick a show that is dear to my heart because then I can put my touch on it and my artistic touch on it that I really like. And so to answer that question, they're all my favorite, just for different reasons. And I have many.
Yeah, it's just like for us at Gotham Trinity Productions, they're all our favorite, but we love Live from APAC is number one. Moving on, let's talk about the theater a little bit. You mentioned how close-knit of a community is. Obviously, everyone's been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. How did it impact your venue and your work as a director?
Well, it was a big surprise. We all, it was a shock. And we had 3 productions in production that were going up and they had to be stopped. But immediately we rolled out our online, which is At Home with Wayne, and we went right to work. The only difference was for the first time in 4 years since I've been at the theater, I was actually home. Which was a huge difference for everyone that works in theater because when you're working in theater, where are you? I'm at the theater. You want to go to dinner tonight? I got to be at theater. Not only do we do in-house productions, we have acts just like you guys do coming through our doors. Every weekend there's something. The Wayne is never quiet. Maybe on a Sunday, but usually Sunday there's a rehearsal going on. But, we all have something going on. Even during the day, we have a wonderful art education program. We bus in kids, different schools to see professional companies that are coming through. It's called part of our arts education program, which is very important at our theater, of educating schools and reaching out to the community. Because that's what the Wayne is about, is reaching out to the community and sharing talents from everyone in the community and bringing in guests to make our people happy, and we have an amazing staff of volunteers. But the answer to your questions, what we've done because of COVID is my job has changed a little bit. I'm not used to getting in front of a camera and going live, but we go live every Wednesday night at 7.
But you do it.
Yeah, but you do it and you get over that. I'm a lot more comfortable than I was 3 months ago. But you get used to it and you have to switch. Being an actor, you have to be versatile. Being a director, you have to be versatile. Being an artistic director, you have to adjust. And that's what you have to do. And we've done it at the Wayne. We've got a lot of things in place going live. We have educational series. We have our summer camps, which are virtual this year. And we have a wonderful educational team led by Leslie Larson and Sarah Kramer. And we never stopped. When COVID hit, we kept the balls rolling. And our executive director and our team at the Wayne, we all came together and said, let's do this. And that's what we've done. And we will continue to do that until we open back up fully. So, that's our goal, is to just keep going.
And Dixie even said it herself, is she needed to adjust. Everyone needs to adjust. You're so used to this in-person, on-stage performances, with the crowd. Obviously these empty seats, it's a little bit sad. It's unfortunate, but you adjust. You have to do it. You hop on Facebook Live. But when you do start directing, we have a question from Miranda. What would be your dream show to put on stage?
One show that I haven't directed yet, I've actually been in it twice, is Les Mis. I have played Javert and I have been Jean Valjean, and I'd love to see it on the Wayne stage. It's a beautiful show. I never get tired of seeing it, and just some things that, as a standpoint as a director, how my vision of it would be. And it's a show that I would love to see on the Wayne stage. It's one of my favorite shows. And to be in direct, it's just a beautiful show, and it's a stunner. So, and the music is just incredible. And when I play Jean Valjean, I got to meet Schoenberg, who wrote the show, which was a huge experience. We had done it in Live Arts in Charlottesville, and it was an amazing experience just to meet the creator and shake his hand. So
there you go.
Funny story. He asked,
that's great.
He asked me after, he said, "How's your falsetto?" And I said, "Meh," because you're not going to say, "Oh, it's good." It was,
my falsetto's good.
My falsetto is good, but yeah, it was a great experience. But the answer to Miranda's question, well, hi Miranda, is that Les Mis would probably be one of the shows that I would like to direct.
Okay. We're going to continue with the personal questions now. Everyone's digging down on Facebook. I love this. Bonnie's asking, is your love life its own fairy tale, Hank?
My love life is non-existent.
Non-existent.
It is. I live alone with my cat, and my relationship right now is to the theater. And that's where my heart is right now. And hopefully it will end in a fairy tale ending. I'd love to meet someone someday, but hey, who knows? Who knows what the cards deal for me? But yes, I would love to have a fairy tale ending.
All right, there you go. It will have a fairy tale ending, and it happens when it happens.
Exactly.
It'll happen. It'll happen when you least expect it. That's what everyone told me. I asked everyone who got engaged, what made you do it? What? Like, why? It's like, you just know. Well, that doesn't help me. What does that even mean? What am I looking for? What does she say? What does she do? You make no sense. Anyway, I digress. I have to ask you this question because it's one of the places I know and love quite well. Tell us about Housewives of Secaucus. How did you get involved with that project, and what was that journey like for you?
It was an amazing journey. I never
thought I'd hear Secaucus and amazing in the same sentence, but go on.
Well, no, I can't tell you how wonderful the experience has been, especially working with those 5 guys. It was magical when it came together, and it was magical when we met. It was just 7 days of fun because I blocked it, choreographed it in 7 days in New York City at Champion Studios. And I got the call from Anthony, and he says, "Hey, how would you think about directing it? I want you to read this." And then I read the script, and I said, "This could be fun." I don't like to see what things are done. I know the show was done with women before, and I did not watch any of it. I don't like to watch things because I like to make them my own and my own interpretation of it and what was done before. This is different. We're having drag queens in the roles that are actually men. It was a wonderful opportunity, but I'm moving forward to it. But Anthony contacted me and he says, "Hey, what do you think?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm interested." And then the producer got in touch with me, and we talked and made arrangements. I came up and stayed with my good friend Matt Stevens, who's a music director in New York City, and we went right to work. And I had very short time to do a show, and those 5 guys came together so fast with great work ethics, ready to work.
Great.
And we got it up. And when I left, it was the last day. I wasn't going to be able to come back to see the actual premiere and the showcase at APAC. And I wish I could have been there because I had a show going on that was opening up. Legally Blonde was opening up, and so I had to go back. So I admired from afar, and I always told them to always put their hearts into it. I always tell that to my actors: put your heart into it. Get lost.
And there's something to be said to keeping an open mind and trying something so fun out of the box, but also the relationships you establish with the people behind the scenes and doing what it sounded like, a 7-day turnaround and whatnot, and the passion and you blood, sweat, and tears you poured into it. So very cool to share with you. We got running out of time. One last question. Any personal experience as a drag queen yourself?
A few guys in college and I dressed up one year. If you're out there, Marcus and Jimmy and Scott, we did it a couple Halloweens in college. I can't walk in heels very well. My ankles are weak.
I'm with you.
So
weak ankles. I can be walking on a straight sidewalk, flat cement, and boom, twisted ankle, out 3-6 weeks.
Yeah, and I'm not very pretty in drag.
Oh, I bet you look fantastic. You know what? I'm going to ask you to send us a photo here, and we'll bring it up at the end of the show. Let us be the judge. Let our millions of viewers be the judge here, and we'll let you know how you look. All right, Hank?
I don't have any. I'd have to like.
Oh.
No, I seriously don't have any. I don't have any of me in drag. So,
okay.
If there's a friend out there, you might have one, in your college stack photos, but no.
Somebody go to their archives and get Hank in drag. I got to see that. All right, Hank, thanks so much for the time, man. Really appreciate you coming on live from APAC.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. And you can catch our live stream tonight at thewaynetheater.org at 7:30. Our summer extravaganza is going to be on tonight at 7:30.
There you go, live at 7:30. You heard it. Hank Fitzgerald, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Hank was great. Very cool. So, yeah, if you have any photos of him in drag from the college years, guys, let's go. Let's get after it. All right, thanks to Dixie, Hank so far. Anthony was going to rejoin us a little bit. Carrie Rubino also going to join us, going to talk about the camps here at the Avenel Performing Arts Center. Much more coming up on Live from APAC right after this.
How was the show last night? I was wondering if I should go. Was it the simple song that we heard in the days of old? How was the show last night? I was wondering if I should go. Tonight we'll have a party. Tonight we'll raise the bar. Celebrating our connection. Yes, we know who we are. If you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing stays at all? And if you close your eyes, you get a nine and I get a four. We'll go fishing in the crawfish down in the boondocks. Saturday night, sing a little prayer for me. Well, did they lose that something? Did they lose that sense of soul? She asked me, how was the show last night? I was wondering if I should go. And the people bowed and prayed. Hey, you. To the young in May. Can you help me? Out there beyond the wall. I'm on top of the world. Hey. I'm on top of the world. Hey. Waiting on this for a while now. I'm paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile. Hey. Hold me there for a while. Hey. Take you with me if I can. Then take me home now. Take me home.
Wow, I am looking forward to Face. That was a lot of fun. I was freaking grooving out a little bit. The beatboxing, yeah, I dig it. Anyway, all right, here we go. We are live on live from APAC here, so we got to get it together. Our next guest is Kristen Ernst. Kristen, how you doing today?
Hi, how are you, Todd? Good to be with you.
Great to have you along. I'm doing all right. Had a really good start to the show. Dixie was
hilarious. Hilarious. She had me rolling.
She's so good. You just don't know what the heck she's going to say next. But she was great. Hank was great to chat with. Kristen, what's going on in your world and how are things going?
You know, it's a surreal time. I moved from New York City after 15 years in that glorious city down to South Florida during a pandemic. So it was certainly a very surreal experience. But I'm getting settled in down here slowly but surely as we are still partially locked down. We're on our way to reopening in phase 1 in Broward County. So it's happening. I have much more room down here and it's of course warmer, but I am missing all my good friends up in New York City. And hi to all of you joining in.
And we miss you up here, Kristen. I got to ask you though, why change from the superstar agent to New York, and now you're artistic director in South Florida? How come the change?
Well, I've worn many hats in this industry. I started as a performing artist myself since I was just a young child growing up in Southern California and moved to New York, like I said, 15 years ago. I've performed, I've choreographed, I've directed, I've assisted casting directors. And then, as you mentioned, I worked with a wonderful management company, managing artists individually. And it turned into promoting these groups and these acts that go out to these different theaters that we've been talking about for weekend gigs and touring gigs, and that became my new passion. And Anthony and I chatted, and he needed some assistance in Curtin's restaurant, bar, and grill last year, and he asked me to do the live entertainment programming for the bar. And it just furthered and deepened my passion for being on the promoting, presenting, producing side of things, because you get much more of a chance to be involved in the production side of things as opposed to just pre and post, where agents and managers are so desperately needed. But I was anxious to get back to the actual production side of things.
Before we move on with this, I just want to share with you someone, Bianca Sottoformaggio, said, woohoo, Kristen Marie Ernst, fresh haircut.
Yes.
Always got to highlight, you know, when the hair's looking good, I got to point that out for you. So your hair's looking good, according to Bianca Sottoformaggio.
Yes, Sottoformaggio, one of Anthony's favorite last names. He couldn't believe it was real when he met her.
I can't believe it's real either. That's awesome. Sottoformaggio. I wanted to be my aunt. Can I call you Anta Sottoformaggio? And that's
she's
the only way to say it. Todd?
Sottoformaggio.
Sottoformaggio.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
Well, we love Bianca. And she's a fantastic killer agent as well, and I miss her dearly. Hi, Bianca.
Oh, I like how this is like a reunion. See, and that's why this show is so great. You know, we can't see each other in person. You can't travel back and forth, but we still at least have this, and you can just check with people. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of things, you kind of alluded to it a little bit. Things are kind of progressing a little bit quicker in Florida than here in New York City. What's the thoughts on when you think shows will be happening a little bit sooner than up here, and what kind of schedule you guys looking at?
Yeah, it's interesting because Florida as a whole, save our 3 southern counties, is already in phase 2. So we get to watch them, see how it's going for them. And it does include movie theaters and bowling alleys. But in South Florida, where I am, I'm in Broward County, which is nestled between Palm Beach County and Miami-Dade County. So these southern 3 counties on the east side of the state are the most congested. Lots of northers coming down, a lot of snowbirds that we love so much. But we do have a higher caseload, and so we're a little bit on a pause right now in phase 1. But I like to put into the universe positive energy that we will be able to partially open with restrictions in August. So we've already started an active holding program, plan A, plan B, and plan C, hopefully getting to start bringing in some of our renters into the ballroom. I handle both the main theater and the ballroom, which is set up more in dining seating. So we're just working so carefully on a safety protocol, procedure, plan, all set, ready to go in place, so that when we do get the go ahead, we're ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah, you're ready to go, putting all the necessary precautions for you, your staff, and of course the guests that are coming in, and whatever it takes, we're all ready to do it. So you kind of touched on it. So I guess coronavirus kind of hit you in regards to your job, but what about personally and any concerns you have moving forward?
Yeah, I think that for anybody that was in New York City proper in the middle of March has a special relationship with the virus. It was very daunting and scary and sad to only hear the sound of sirens for weeks outside my door and outside my window until, of course, 7 o'clock when we all came out to cheer on the essential workers. It is definitely a different feeling down here. I've been very fortunate. I have not been personally affected by the virus, and my immediate family has not been. But so many members of our Broadway community have been affected, some who have succumbed to the virus, and some that are still fighting every day for their lives. So the Broadway community is incredibly close, and they are my children in a way. So even though I am lucky enough to not have to deal with it in my own family, knock on wood, pray to the heavens, I do feel very, very affected by our Broadway community that's been affected and continue to be affected in the case of reopening procedures, as will probably be last.
Right. Yeah, that phase is last, and that's tough. A couple more shout outs from you. Matthew Stevens, Kelly Carpenter Townsend says hello. Just want to throw it out there.
Yes, Kelly was one of our biggest performers at Curtains Bar and Restaurant last year, and she has a live stream every day at 3:00 that she does from her basement, sometimes with some special guests by her husband and son. And she's been fighting the good fight while she's waiting to be hired back out at bars and restaurants in New Jersey. So check her out. And Matthew Stevens, one of the best musical directors you'll ever work with in your life. And Hank, our previous guest, can attest to that as well.
Appreciate them tuning in, of course. And Bianca Sottoformaggio saying, I'm saying it amazing. So I'm so glad I could make her happy. Hey, this month, GLBT month, are there any plans to celebrate by you or acknowledge it with your community?
Yes, I've been looking into it. It looks like a lot of this area seems to do most of their celebrations in April. I'm still getting to know who does what. Wilton Manors is a hop, skip, and a jump from where I live. And they're already changing their plans to December 6th. There's going to be a big parade. But I'm still on the hunt for what's going on specifically in this month. But I have noticed that some of our drag queens are back into the restaurants. Now, they can't do their full shows, but they are showing up and saying hello to the patrons as they have their meals, and just, of course, with their mask and gloves and keeping that safe distancing, but just kind of letting our customers down here know that we're so ready and waiting to come back when it's safe to do so. So I'm keeping my eye on that. I can't wait to go to one of them down in Miami.
Everyone's excited for everything to open up again. Hey, we're going to switch gears a little bit with this question. How many gay men do you know in your personal life?
Well, that's so funny. Probably a lot more than straight men. So that would probably explain why I'm single. But I have wonderful, wonderful, wonderful gay friends in my life. And my best one, I think he's watching, is Mark Rowland. And if he actually helped me drive the big old U-Haul truck down to Florida and get me set up here, I literally would be dead without him. So shout out to my gay husband.
Shouted you out, looking good, wifey. So proud of you, Kristen, Marie, and so there we go.
You.
Showing the love on here. See, this program's all about love.
Yes, it's such a reunion.
Right? Yeah, and that's cool. I mean, that's the forum we have. And speaking of this virtual forum, when it comes to the conferences, you and Anthony were very active in them. How do you feel about these virtual conferences and moving forward for this season? It sounds like it's a little iffy.
Yeah, it's a little iffy. I kind of wrote in my notes, a necessary evil. Now, we're all here promoting live entertainment, so we want to be face to face. It is the time for us to network, to share what's going right, what's going wrong, what's selling, all of the exciting thing, and then of course things that are going on in all of our communities, and share our trade secrets. But it's also a chance for us to be right face in front of our acts, whether we're selling or buying, we want to see them live. So of course we would rather that, and we can't wait till we do that again. However, if it needs to be live streaming this year, I'd rather that than nothing. And it's forcing us into learning new skills and becoming more savvy in the tech space and the online space, working with wonderful content producers like yourself that, that a lot of us in the live arena, we're just lost. I mean, I didn't even know what Zoom was 3 months ago.
That's right. Yeah,
so,
a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah. So I think we're all kind of being forced into a new market that is just going to add to the promotion of live entertainment. And it's, like I say, it's necessary for now, but we're looking forward to all get together again.
There's nothing like the in-person, face-to-face, the handshakes, the hugs, the kisses, and seeing someone and getting a feel for them and being in person with them. Totally get it. All right,
Absolutely.
Kristen, so great talking to you. Thanks so much for the time today, and looking forward to staying in touch.
Yeah, just one big shout out that I didn't do, probably the most important one. Township Center for Performing Arts. It's in Coconut Creek, Florida. It is open to the public, and it sits on a 15,000 unit residency. It's beautiful property there. So please check us out on Facebook and come down and see us when you're in South Florida.
All right, great. I'll be sure to hit you up, Kristen. Can't wait to make it down there. I'm looking forward to hopping on a plane and getting back around the country, Kristen. So thanks so much. Have a good one.
Thank you too, Todd.
All right, that was Kristen Ernst. Again, another positive interview, reunions and whatnot. It was great. So many thanks to her, to Hank Fitzgerald, and of course, Dixie Longate with an astounding, amazing interview. Hey, earlier today, I went around. Where did I go, guys? I went around Curtains, or earlier on Monday. That's right, Monday we went to Curtains for the opening, and it was an awesome event. It was great to see everyone back outside, drinking and eating. Food was fantastic. Like I said at the top of the show with Anthony, had my banquet wrap shrimp, had my cerveza. It was so freaking good, and it was good to see a positive vibe. Again, everyone just excited to be outside, so very cool. Also, before we end the show, we said that Carrie Rubino chatted with us prior to the show, talking about the camps a little bit and just giving us an overall update. Carrie? All good. Carrie cannot join us right now. That's okay. We'll talk with Carrie another time. But Carrie, I do know she said that there were a lot of people signing up for the camps, which was awesome to hear. But there's still room. So you can go onto the Avenel Performing Arts Center website and you can find about the camps. Now, the camps, theater camps, culinary camps, very cool. I think you should look into it. Again, Curtains Restaurant, right next door to the theater, right? PK, who's over there, who provided an amazing spread, by the way, for amazing crew. So that was very cool. So you know what? Carrie is ready to chat. We chatted earlier, talked about the camps. So this is us at Curtains on Monday. Again, here you can see plenty of people outside, the socially distant tables, the great setup, the great menu that we saw, and PK was just an artist out there. It was great to see people. The bartenders were so nice. Everyone was excited. I think people were excited to be working. The bartenders excited to be working. The waitresses, everyone to get back to some sense of normality, right? That you could see the drinks flowing there. That was a mixed drink and a nice little Pinot Grigio going on. And God, I love the decor. And I'm looking forward to the performances coming back at Curtains. The live performances are a lot of fun and definitely a draw for the community. So be sure to stay tuned for when those in-house performances can occur. But until then, you can go dine at Curtains outside. I believe it's Sunday through Saturday, guys. Right? Yeah. All right. All right. So before we go, we just want to hear a brief message about Secret to Springsteen. So let's take a look.
Sing it in the morning. Come on and sing it in the evening. All over. Sing out danger. Come on and sing out warning. Sing out that love. Sing out love. Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. 4, they wanna own me. 2, they wanna stone me. 1 says she's a friend of mine. Well, take it easy. Take it easy. How many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you wait for me. hold me like you never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane.
To go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. A little something like this. Oh, well, I was drunk the day my mom got out of prison. Together, Wendy, we could live with the sadness. I love you with all the madness in my soul. Oh, someday, girl, I don't know when we're gonna get to that place where we really wanna go, and we'll walk on the sun. But till then, tramps like us, baby, we were born to run. This land is yours, this land is yours. Oh, it's my land too, California. To New York Island. Oh, where I was born. To the gospel world. This land was made for you and me.
Up and running for on sale with the camps. They're selling like hotcakes. Get them while you can. Our culinary arts camp has 10 seats sold already, 10 out of 12, which is amazing. It's almost sold out. So if you want to sign up for that, you can go to avanelarts.com and sign up. Registration's right on our website, and we have still have room in our theater camp. So come on out, live in-person camps.
So the first, I mentioned it earlier, sold a bunch. But we still have room, so it's good.
Absolutely, yeah. We can accommodate you. We can get your kids out of the house with all the safety and guidelines in place.
And that was one of the things we mentioned before the show, right? I think the parents are itching to have their kids get out of the house, but the kids too.
The kids, yeah, they've been cooped up for too long. They want to get out. They want to be social. And even though we're practicing social distancing, being with your peers is really important. So they need to learn their social skills, and we're happy to provide that.
Yeah, well, what if I need to do it with a little bit of theater, a little bit of feud? No feuds, food. Anyway, it's all food. All right, Carrie, so glad you can join us. All right, and thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you being with us here on Live from APAC. This was a great show. Special thanks to Dixie Longate, Hank Fitzgerald, Kristen Ernst, and of course, Anthony Wilkinson for providing us with a great update at the top of the show. Looking forward to seeing you next week at Live from APAC, the Avenel Performing Arts Center in Avenel, Woodbridge Township, New Jersey. Have a great week, everybody.